Good afternoon, Flosstube. Get stray here out of the way. It is Saturday afternoon, like 5-ish. It's 5. Saturday afternoon, what's today? The 7th? Is that right? I don't have my calendar right in front of me. I believe it's the 7th. Let me look at my phone real quick. Yes, today's the 7th. Saturday, March 7th, 5 o'clock. As if it matters, really, because who knows what time you might be watching this. Anyway, my name is Elizabeth Martinez. I can't speak. Phantastitches. And this is a channel about cross-stitch, believe it or not. Not the time or the date, but cross-stitch. And I wrote myself some notes because I have a lot of stuff I want to get through. So it's a little bit later in the day. We're doing some running around today. So, and I was up late last night, the last couple days, doing some FFO stuff for Stitch Shenanigans, which is coming up in April. And for those who are attending that, if you're arriving sometime around noon, we did this last year for a handful of people who were coming in, flying in at noonish. But my older sister, who drives for Uber, she picked up we picked up some people for free, basically, who were, all arriving at the same time, and we're trying to coordinate that again this year. So that's hopefully that's something that can happen. I've been talking for some time about the idea of my sisters and I opening an Etsy shop. And I talked about it last week, that it looked like we were getting ready to do that. And so we did indeed pull the trigger just yesterday, I guess. So it's brand new. I don't know, we're still hoping that it's okay, that everything's right and correct. But there still may be some things to work out. But I will put the link to the shop in the box below this video, so you can find it. But it's called 3, the number 3, Sisters Creative. Not the word written out 3, because that'll get you to some, like, I don't know, food site, catering or cooking or something. But the number 3, Sisters Creative. And it's, like I said, it's an Etsy shop. It's linked below. Right now we just have 2 patterns on there, but we're hoping to add some more things as we get them stitched. But so the long-awaited 10 minutes to midnight. It's a Christmas thing, and it's spring. But I promise I started it before Christmas. It just took me a while to get to it. But it's this picture here, Santa, and it's 10 minutes to midnight. He's torn his pants, and Mrs. Claus is fixing his pants, and he's waiting in his underwear. These are Christmas trees, by the way. And yeah, and so out the window here you can see the snowflakes falling from the sky, and there's the moon. And so what I did was I actually finished it on just a piece of cardboard. It's just folded flat over a piece of cardboard and glued to this canvas. And this is just a plain canvas that we got at, I don't know, Walmart, Hobby Lobby, someplace. And my sister Eve painted this little, snowy scene, and the snowflakes and some stars and stuff like that on the canvas, just to give it just a way to finish it. You can finish it however you want to. But anyway, it's about I want to say 6 by 8 or thereabouts. So you might be able to put it in a standard frame. You have to get the exact measurements, because I can't, off the top of my head, I don't know. But anyway, so this pattern is available. Yeah, so there's Santa, 10 minutes to midnight. My sister Eve designed this, and I stitched it. And my sister Naomi had the concept of the idea of Santa waiting for Mrs. Claus to sew his pants. So there's this. And that is available in our Etsy shop. And then the other thing that's available right now, and it's part of what will hopefully will be a series if we get them all done, is these little things we're calling Chore flips. Right? So this one is for the dog. So you can put your dog's name there, or you can just put dog if your dog has a really long name or whatever. But our dog is named Rogue, so we put Rogue is, and there's a little bone there. And so one side the dog is fed, the other side the dog's bowl is empty. The dog has not been fed. So if you have a household where you're trying to make sure that the dog gets fed, and maybe only gets fed once, the dog's already been fed, then you can hang this. Now this one has a hanger on it, so you could hang it if your dog bowl is not near anything metal that you could use a magnet. But you could put a magnet inside here if it's more convenient for you. But so this is just this is stitched on 14 count vinyl. There's a little piece of cardboard inside here. And there's a bit of polyfill in here to make it a little squishy. So this one doesn't have a magnet in it, but you can hang it, somewhere near the dog bowl or whatever, or the dog food or whatever. But there's this. And so we hope to do one that has homework is finished or unfinished, or done or not done or whatever. And then one that is a fish, so the fish's name and the fish is fed or not fed, and one with dishes are done or not done, or clean or dirty or whatever. And that was actually my original idea, was to do something for the dishwasher, because we have one of those dishwasher things that says dishes are, and then one side is clean and the other side says dirty. It needs it's really, really old. We've had it for years. But I was thinking, it'd be fun to do like a cross stitch idea for that. So that was the idea I had like a year ago, long time ago. But anyway, so we're finally getting them around to doing them. So like I said, this one's done on 14 count vinyl, but you can do it on whatever fabric you want, And as a matter of fact, one of the things I've been working on, I think I showed part of it last week, is the homework one. So in this case, I used Robert, that's my nephew's name. And there's an alphabet that goes along with it, so you can, personalize it for your kid or whatever. But so this is homework is, and then there's a done or not done thing that I'm working on right now. So that'll be up whenever that gets finished, and hopefully it'll be soon. But so again, the Etsy site is 3 Sisters Creative, the number 3 Sisters Creative, and you should be able to find it. Let me know if you have any trouble finding it on Etsy. Let me make sure this cat is doing what he's supposed to do. Puck, hold on 1 second, please. Sorry, that's a cat business. So anyway, yeah, that's the Etsy shop. So, I want to talk about my whips a little bit. So, I did have, what is that? A new start for, Leap Day, going into spring. So what I started was this spring delivery. And actually, I was watching Priscilla and Chelsea this morning, and Priscilla is working on this as well. I think she said she was not going to give him a pipe or whatever, but I'm going to. So anyway, this is what I'm working on, spring delivery. And it's in Classic Colorworks, Gentle Arts, and Week Star Works, and one thing of DMC, which is used for the I think the legs and the chicks, the legs and beaks and the chicks. You see that. Anyway, so I had one of the Weeks Dye Works colors, and of course the DMC color, but I had a whole bunch of other Weeks Dye Works colors. So I made my own little conversion of Weeks colors based on these colors, based on the DMC conversion. You know, yeah. So it was kind of convoluted, but I got it sorted out. And so this is as far as I've gotten in a week. I didn't work on it every day last week, but so far I've got most of his body. Yeah. And the brown I'm using is, I think, chestnut. Yeah, because they're hickory sticks, and I'm using chestnut because that's what I have. Hold on one second again. Sorry. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, this is spring delivery. I'm working on the big bunny. I've got one of his right paw and his feet, and then I have the other side of his body and his other paw, and then his head, etc. But so I'm working on the bunny, and then the other thing I did was I worked a little bit on the Gnome Biscornu. So I finished this page, the front page, last week, and so I've started on the back side. So I did this corner is way over here somewhere, but I did the top, and I did all the way down to I did the one side, and then just started the bottom until I ran out of thread. But now I'm doing this flower motif in the corner. So this is like one of the tulips, like this here, and then a bigger flower thing here. Yeah, so there's I think another one of these tulips here, and then this little motif is repeated in each corner, and then it'll be done. So I just have to, if I just hurry up and buckle down and do it, I can knock it out pretty quickly. Because this I did just today while we were driving around, running around doing stuff. We had to stop at, well, my mom got her hair done, and so I was doing that in the car. And then while I was waiting outside, my mom and sister went into Penny's to do something, and I stayed out in the car and stitched a little bit. So, and I was just not really doing much, but I got a little bit done there. So, and I think, yeah. So I worked on the homework thing, chore flip thing, and a little bit on spring delivery, and a little bit on the Gnome Biscornu. So got all those done today. And then the other thing I did Thursday and Friday is I worked on FFOing the things for the Smalls Exchange at Stitch Shenanigans. And again, I did this berry basket pincushion out of, I think this was, what is this? A magazine. I think the one with the, I can't think of the name of it. But it has an Arlene Cohen design on the outside, on the front cover. It's like a white design on the cover. But anyway, this Nicoletta Farrauto, Nicoletta Farrauto design is in the magazine. So I stitched it twice. I did it first 2/2, and then I did it again 1/1 to make a smaller version of it. And so let me pull that here. So the first time I did it 2/2, and I changed the date on here to 2020 because that's this year. So and then I finished it with some crushed walnut shells, and there's little lavender buds in there. I don't know if it still has scent, or if it, because I've had it for about a year. I think I bought it at a quilt shop some time ago, and I just had never used it until I did this pincushion. I was FFOing the pincushion. I thought, this is a good size to use the walnut shells in. So I don't know if it still smells, because my nose is kind of what my family said, my nose is kind of broken ever since I had the brain surgery. It'll actually be 4 years ago. Excuse me. 4 years ago in January. I can't really smell things. If something smells really strong, I can smell it like the first time I smell it. Like my nephew had some tacos the other night that had like some kind of, that had strong onions, something, and I could smell the onions. But ordinarily I can't really, when my sister's making dinner or something like that, I really can't smell anything. Somebody says, oh, that really smells. I'm like, yeah, I can't smell it. So this might smell really nice. I don't know. I can't tell. Anyway, I finished it with this fabric that I had. I think I showed this last time that I was thinking about this fabric. So yeah, I have that, and I finished it on there. And then this is that cording made out of that yarn that my sister spun. I used it for the snowman that I made for my older sister back in December, and so I had some more, and I used a little more, and I did this little pincushion. So yeah. And then, like I said, I did it again 1/1 on this, and this is 22 count Ada, which is, as I understand it, the Hardanger, but it's just like Ada cloth, but it's called Hardanger. And this one I left the 1851, yeah, 51, that is charted, and it has a little. I finished a little. I give it a little tassel thing, but it also has a scissor fob. It is a scissor fob, so it has a little lobster claw there, and there's a nice pair of scissors that go on there. And this fabric is, like I said, it was Hardanger. It was leftover, just a big enough piece left over from another project that I did, but it's berry dyed. I dyed it with, you can see a little bit here, blueberries and raspberries and strawberries, I think. They were, yeah, so, and it's a little bit, you can see a little bit of it here. I did this all by hand, and what I did kind of a little envelope, and I stitched this with a contrasting color, so you could, since it was going to be seen anyway. The stitching around the outside I did with a off-white color, and then I put the same cording around it that's on the other one. But I wanted, instead of using a backing fabric, I wanted to use this because, I wanted this to be seen, kind of this berry dyeing these little spots. So I did this by hand, and I was sewing it together, and I poked myself with the needle as I was sewing it, and I didn't realize that I was bleeding, and I bled some on this corner, but I used one of those like flushable wipes, and it took the blood out of it pretty well. I don't think you can tell that I was bleeding on this corner of it. Yeah, so, yeah. You learn something new every day. Yeah. So, there's that little thing. And I am kind of torn. I don't know. I dyed some fabric. And it's really pretty. It's just, not my particular taste, but it might be somebody's taste. I don't know. But, I did this fabric using Rit dye. The color I think is wine, and yeah, and it was a small piece of fabric, so I used one of those little. It's I think they're by Yoplait. It comes in a glass jar, a yogurt called Wee. OUI, we. Puck, Snug, whatever your name is, you stop. Anyway, my sister likes that yogurt, and so we have a whole bunch of these empty glass jars. And anyway, so I just wadded it up and stuffed it in there and put a little dye in there. But I like the way it turned out in terms of modeling and all of that. So I don't know. The reason I dyed it was because I planned on stitching a few I like on there. You know, I've made several of those, and I still might do it. I just haven't decided exactly for sure if I'm gonna do that. But anyway, so I might do that, and we'll see how that turns out. So I think that's all the stitching that I did this week, or that I will do this week. And so I want to go on to haul. I have just a tiny bit. We were at Joann's the other day, and I bought this little piece of fabric just because. It's a 28 count even weave sand. Is the color. It's kind of glary. There it is. There. Yeah. And then at Walmart, I was at Walmart the other day just getting this and that, and I got this little Busilla kit. This kitty sleeping. It looks like my sister's cats, Pippin and Tyler. They both have the same coloration, although they're very different. Pippin was a Maine Coon type, not purebred, but Maine Coonish, long hair, stocky, big cat. And Tyler is even bigger. Tyler is taller. He's a big boy. I always forget how big he is until, like I said last week, not the 29th, but the week before. I was over at my sister's house, pet sitting her animals, and Tyler is a big boy. And then I came home to my cats, and Snug is my big cat, and his head is only about this big, really, and Tyler is about like that. His head is about this big, and he's very tall, and he's just, he's a big kitty. He's a big kitty. He's very sweet though. Anyway, so this cat reminds me of my sister's cats. And then the other thing is my little sister, who has been into all kinds of crafts for many years, was cleaning out all of her craft stuff, and she had lots and lots of stuff, and yarn and all kinds of things, and she had a bunch of cross-stitch stuff. And apparently there's another bag of cross-stitch things that she's planning on giving me. But so she brought a bag of stuff for me. And so I just want to show a little bit of what that's about. There's a big hoop that I probably will not use. This is a 10-inch hoop. And I have and it's one of these wooden ones, and I have 2 or 3 of these wooden ones that I just really don't use anymore because they're so big, and I have the plastic ones now that just lock in the fabric better and all that. And then there's this big bag of floss, and it's there's a lot of skeins of white and pink, and there's a few other colors in there, grays and browns and stuff. And then there's there were several coils of that's mine, but several things of just curled up coils of floss that were not bobbinated, not with a skein or anything. So I don't know what colors they are necessarily. And part of me wants to throw them away. Sorry, wait. part of me wants to throw them away, and part of me says, well, that's a lot of floss. I don't want to throw that away. But unless I can tell what color they are, if they go with some of these skeins or something, I might have to throw them away if I can't figure out what color they're supposed to be. And then she also has a ring of bobbins of floss, and all of these are like labeled or whatever. And or they have the labels still, the number labels in there. So, but some of these skeins are older, and I don't know if the dye lots have changed over the years. So that remains to be seen. I haven't looked to add them to my stash, or not. And then she had this Janlin, oops, upside down, Janlin kit, and it's called Santa's Wish List. And he's, going over the list, and he has toys and stuff in his bag and all that. And this came with this fabric, and it was kind of putty colored, and quite some time ago, my sister gave me the fabric, and it had like part of it already stitched, and I took the stitching out because, I wasn't sure. I don't know if she wasn't sure if she had the pattern still or whatever. But so she had started it, and she had started it like, in the center or whatever. So some of this, I think it was mostly red, was stitched, but I pulled it all out because, and then the fabric, I wasn't really crazy about the color, even just by itself. It was kind of a putty color, and like this looks much lighter. The fabric that I had kind of a brown. It just looked dull, like a beige, brown, barfy color. I don't know. And so I actually dyed it with, I think green or something. And it looked kind of Halloween-y. So I think I have it in another, with another chart for Halloween someday, And so I don't have the original fabric that this came with. So if I ever get around to stitching it, and I may or may not, because I have the original pattern that, in the kit, but it's kind of worn, and it's, one of those it's like folded, and so it's kind of worn in the middle, and it's also highlighted, she marked on the pattern that, the stitches that she had done, and so, anyway, and it's very almost full coverage, right? But it's very pretty. It's very cool. It's just one of those, I don't know, it's a lot of stitching kind of things, But because it was a kit, it came with all the colors, and I thought, well, I don't know what she did with all the colors. They're all in here. And the skeins are. They're all separated by number and color, whatever, and she even put the symbol on there. And these numbers, I don't know if they coordinate with DMC numbers or not. I haven't compared them to see if that's a DMC number or not. But they're, all the kits colors are in here. And so, I may have to like substitute or add to some of the skeins if I ever do this. Yeah. And she also gave me a box with some, I'm making a mess on her, beads. There's a one that's going to jump out. Okay. Beads and, oh golly. Hold on one second. There's some beads. Oh! Uh-oh. Beads here that are, I guess, staticky or something and liable to jump out. Okay. So there's, I don't want to tip these, but there's a bunch of beads and sequins and stuff from apparently a stocking that she was making at some point that she that apparently the I guess the instructions that came with it were kind of didn't make much sense and hard to follow and whatever, and she ended up making a different stocking, and it came out better and all that. So she I think she said she threw out the original stocking, but she had all these beads left over that were, supposed to go on it that she didn't use. But anyway, so I want to do that Santa, but it's a someday project. It's it's not an immediate thing. But anyway, so that's all the stuff that I had and acquired this week, and yeah. So that's where I am now, and like I said, the Etsy shop is finally up, and hopefully we have some more of those Chore flips on there soon, and some other things. My sister Eve is wanting to put some artwork on there, and various things. And then my younger sister, sorry, I bit my tongue. My younger sister is wanting to put some skeins of yarn that she plans to spin herself on the site as well. But that is coming. I don't know if she has decided, done the yarn for one thing, but decided on a price and that sort of thing. So that's coming yet. But so it's just all kinds of stuff. So there's cross stitch, there's artwork, there's, I think my older sister has a few pieces of jewelry. She used to do wire wrap jewelry for a friend, and she has a few pieces left that she made. It's not something that she does regularly now because it's pretty expensive to do on an ongoing basis. But she has some pieces left over from that. So as soon as she figures out a price for that, those would be available on a limited basis. Just what she has, left. But anyway, so those are the things we plan to put. But for now, there's two, maybe 3 items on there. I don't know. 2 last time I looked. But so, yeah, go check that out. I'm going to put the link in the box below. And hopefully you'll be able to see those soon. And so I think that's about it. Yeah. Okay. So I think let me check my notes real quick, make sure I'm not forgetting anything. Yeah, I think that's it. Okay, so I will see you all next week with another update. And I hope I was thinking about all the people that were going to Nashville, to the Nashville market, because they had those tornadoes in the Nashville area, and I remember hearing about it because I have a couple of friends that have several friends and family in the Nashville area, and I know that the Nashville market is not in Nashville itself; it's in Franklin, but I was wondering, people who were driving through the area, or flying into the area, whatever they were doing to get there, if there was going to be, if it was going to be passable, if there were going to be accommodation, but it appears to be that there's no problem, because the people who were going seem to have gotten there all right, and I actually have to go. I want to go and check out some of the videos that are coming out of Nashville now, because I haven't been keeping up with it so much. But I have seen a couple of patterns. I was watching Teresa Kogut talking about her Nashville releases, and there were several things that I really liked. And Lindy Stitches, there were a couple of things of hers that I really liked. And I've seen a bunch of new things. I think, Kathy Haberman from Hands On Design has several new things that I'm interested in. And I like Priscilla and Chelsea. There's things that they have. They're not going to Nashville, but some of the things they have Peep and Crunch. I like those spring Easterish designs that they have out now. I'm interested in those, and I want to see what Brenda Gervais has for Nashville. I haven't seen her new releases yet, and there are just so many. Michelle Betty has some stuff, and various other people. So I'm very behind on my, but in a way that's good because I don't have a whole lot of money to spend on it. So I want to see everything that's out there to decide if there's something that I really need to have, or that I want to have. And I probably won't get in on any of the market exclusives just because that's gonna have to wait. But, so yeah. So, like I said, go check out the Etsy shop if you would, please. Excuse me. And see if there's something there you like. And just, hopefully we'll have some new items stuck in there soon. Not right away, but soon. Alright, so I will see you next week. Again, my name is Elizabeth Martinez, Phantastitches. Did I say this is episode number 107? I don't think I did. It is episode number 107. And if you're a subscriber and you're returning, thank you very much. If you're a new viewer, thanks for stopping by. Hit that subscribe button if you'd like, and you can and the alert little notification bell. Hit that little bell, and you'll get a notification every time I record an update. I think that's it for now. I'll probably think of other things that I meant to mention and I didn't mention, but for now, that's all I have to say. Till next time. All right, thanks. Bye.